Around with America's Cabbie.
Taxi! Taxi!
You're hanging out with Jimmy Fallon on Fox Across America.
Paid for by government.com.
The 1878 to 1921 Morgan silver dollar, a true American classic and one of the most iconic silver dollar coins in history. It's been 100 years since the last Morgan silver dollar coin was struck for circulation, and now, for a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government struck Morgan dollars are being released to the public. That's right, you can own a full pound of 1878 to 1921 classic American Morgan silver dollar coins, all in very good collector condition with fully visible dates and mint marks. Guarantee. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure collector-grade U.S. Morgan silver dollars by the pound, struck during the Wild West and the Gilded Age. Plus, receive a bonus American Collector's Pack valued at over $25, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your full pound bag of Morgan silver dollar coins before they are gone. 1-800-917-4635. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. The candidates have campaigned, and now it's time for the voters to decide. This week, campaign consultant Kellyanne Conway joins me to prep us as we head into the Iowa caucuses and beyond. Don't miss this one. Available now wherever you download podcasts.
I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute. The body of a Florida mom who vanished more than a decade ago was found in a pond near Disney World on New Year's Eve.
Messing with your DNA. Your DNA. Pump. Rona, CDC, and FDA. The FDA say that you should take a jab at
their lien holders, first to the free state of Illinois, then into the free territory of Wisconsin, before returning to the slave state of Missouri. There they tried to buy their freedom but were refused. Subsequently, they filed individual lawsuits in a Missouri court seeking their freedom on the grounds their past residence in a free state and free territory had legally liberated them from slavery. A Missouri state court agreed, but 2 years later, the Missouri Supreme Court reversed that decision, sending the case to the United States Supreme Court to ultimately decide their fate. In writing the Dred Scott decision, then Chief Justice Roger Brooke Taney chose to ignore legal precedents, distort history, disregard specific legal doctrines, and accepted constitutional statutes. His opinion asserted that Congress had no constitutional authority to forbid or abolish slavery in the territories. Consequently, the Missouri Compromise, which for the previous 40 years had served as the accepted settlement over such issues, was immediately deemed unconstitutional. Sadly, the United States Supreme Court has never overturned the Dred Scott decision. However, with Congress passing both the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery and the 14th Amendment defining citizenship and all the protections thereof, the issue was resolved legislatively. Dred and Harriet Scott eventually gained their freedom, but not through the courts. In 1857, a family purchased their lien, and then
enthusiastic and energized crowd in New Hampshire I've ever seen. And actually something that was so exciting to me personally, and should be to you as well, was the amount of young people that I saw. And I know it was held at a college campus, so the kids think it's cool to go to something like that at their school. But I saw so many young voters. Many of them I spoke to. I posted videos of it on my social media. I was asking them why they're there. And they had just said this is the first election they get to vote in, and they want Trump. Many of them were young men, too. And there's some interesting data I've seen, and this isn't just a New Hampshire point. This is across the board, where young American men, I'm talking Gen Z men, like high school aged currently, are more conservative than young men have been in decades. And I hope and I pray it's true that the pendulum has swung so far left that it's going to swing back to the right, because these kids are realizing the lunacy of the left in our culture, in our schools, and in our media. Interesting times. We'll be right back.
This is Caroline Levitt inviting you to join me November 16th as we journey in search of Iceland's magical northern lights with Colette Tours. We'll experience the land of fire and ice with a rare opportunity.
America is that Jill Biden's on Morning Joe this morning talking about, let's see it again here. I see him out, traveling the country. I see his vigor. I see his energy. I see his passion every single day. So why is Jill Biden up early today talking to Joe and Mika? And where was the president? Why couldn't he do this interview and make his own case for himself? And before you say, oh, well, maybe he was busy. Maybe he had some meetings. Maybe he was traveling and campaigning. If you look at this president's schedule over the past 3 days, it is horrifying that this man is actually leading this country. Over the last 3 days, he's had one meeting on his public schedule, and that meeting was lunch with Kamala Harris. I am not making this up. He gets the daily briefing 2 days ago at 3:45 in the afternoon. What, do terrorists sleep in on Tuesdays? Is that how this works? And the fact that with everything going on in the world, that he doesn't have anything on his schedule for 3 days after he just spent 3 weeks on vacation, either at Camp David or in St. Croix. This should be unacceptable. Republicans, I don't care if it's DeSantis, Haley, Trump, anybody running for Senate or Congress seat, you should be pointing to his schedule every day, sharing it on your social media feed and saying, this is the guy who says he's going to save democracy, and apparently he's going to do it by taking 4-day weekends indefinitely. So Jill Biden can talk about this all they want, and obviously going on Morning Joe, she's going to get a rhetorical foot rub, and boy, she certainly did there. But this is where we are at this point, where we just have a guy who does not work. And maybe that's because he can't work. There's something more to this. I'm sorry. Everybody's back to work. They went back to work last week. If they took off last week also because New Year's extended into the week a little bit, fine. But here we are. Everybody else is working hard in this country. Some have to work 2-3 jobs just to keep up with inflation, the fact that they're drowning in credit card debt and all the interest that goes along with that. And here we have a president who does not work. In January, he isn't away anywhere. He isn't even campaigning. It's an election year. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, nothing on his schedule. Daily briefs at 11:30 or 3:30. What the hell is going on? And the Secretary of Defense, he doesn't know where he is. You know why he doesn't know where he is? Because Joe Biden has not had a cabinet meeting with his cabinet since October. With everything going on in the Middle East, we're not even meeting with the Defense Secretary on any regular basis to the point where we don't even know where he is? All right. The anger is up. That was not an act, by the way. That was not a Pat McAfee thing I just did. That was real passion right there, baby. I'm authentic. New Jersey, what can I say? Joe Concha, in for Jimmy Fail. It is Fox Across America. Back with more in a moment.
I'm Charles Payne. Listen to my Unstoppable Prosperity podcast so I can get you making money right now. 35 years on Wall Street taught me how to successfully invest in the stock market. In my 4-part series, I'm going to teach you too. Some of Fox Business's finest join me to help tell my